welcome everybody to IBD Boxing Podcast, broadcasting to you live from the True North. It's a good friend, Mr. BDA, and I'm glad. That's right, I'm glad that everybody had the ability and the time to come here. Good to have you on board. And let me tell you something, we got a fantastic show because we got a fantastic set of fights tomorrow. At least, there's a card in Europe too, from what I understand. But the ones I'm looking forward to the most are the ones on ESPN and The Zone. Those are going to be some good fights. Even the Zone one, you have Henry LeBron versus Christopher Pitufo Diaz. Should be a decent matchup as well. So we're going to be talking about all of that plus more and opening up the phone lines near the end of the hour, or maybe within an hour, rather. We also got a lot to talk about in regards to potential fights. Canelo Crawford, some people still think that fight is possible for next year, despite what Crawford is saying. But we're going to get to the bottom of that. So let me just call a couple of people over here. See if we can start getting, full house. And while I do that, hold on a second. I think Butch is better at explaining all the comings and goings that we got occurring here, the Boxing Debate Arena, making some major changes, some retooling, as we call it. Butch, are you there?
Yo, can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you, man. So maybe can you explain then the by the way, we're still on a Spreaker, right?
You upload episodes. Yeah, but we discovered this thing called, what's it called again? Buy Me a Coffee, but I just switched it to Buy Me a Beer. And you guys can donate there. Because we don't have super chats for like three months. But with Buy Me a Coffee, you can actually... What?
No, sorry, go ahead.
Okay, so you can send us a donation and you can actually write a message. You can actually send a video too, but please don't send us any videos. You guys are all fucking sickos.
What's the worst that could happen if somebody sends a video?
Yeah, I don't know, man. But yeah, you can send a... Exactly, that could happen. The chat is crazy. You know how the boxing community is full of fucking degenerates.
Right.
Oh yeah, and then so you say if you send us a message there, by the way, it's anonymous, so we won't know your real name or your address or anything like that. So you send us a message there. We have the app on our phones, so we will immediately get the message and we can read it on the show. So yep, you can go check that out. The link's in the description. It's called Buy Me a Coffee. I'll put the link in. But actually, I don't know. There was an option that said that you could switch it to buy me a pizza, buy me a beer, and so I decided beer because
come on, now, but beer makes it sound. But beer makes it sound like we're.
It's not gay. Buy me a drink. Hey, would you need a drink?
But coffee sounds more urbane. You know what I mean? A little bit more distinguished. And buy me a beer.
Yeah, but
what's next? Buy me a crack pipe.
Beer is drink, man. It's boxing. You're watching a boxing fight. You're drinking. You're drinking a beer. You're not drinking fucking coffee. Well, I don't know about you.
Well, I tell you what, we got about 3 Japanese cards coming up, Bucho. We got 3 Japanese cards coming up this month. We got the Ryan Garcia so-called exhibition against Ampo. That's going to be in Japan, I believe. Then you've got Inoue versus Sam Goodman, and on top of that, you got Ioka versus Martinez. So I'm going to have to start drinking some coffee, not beer. Tell you that much right now.
That's a good point.
All right, well, listen.
All right, let's get this party started.
Yeah, so tomorrow, by the way, just tomorrow, before we get to the whole gossipy side of boxing and he said, she said, and who's going to fight whom, tomorrow night, we've got a sensational, like I said, set of fights. We had the weigh-ins today. I'm getting pumped up now for Navarrete Valdez. When that fight was announced, I was saying, okay, so what? Been there, done that. I wasn't all that excited for it. But now I'm looking forward to it. Navarrete, supposedly, from what somebody, Boxeo Atomico told me, Navarrete told Valdez, I got to stop you to feel satisfied. Valdez is talking about how he's going to make changes in this one. He now knows what to expect from Navarrete, and he's going to make the changes. But I got to ask, though, what changes is Valdez going to make? Because he's always been a bit of a one-trick pony. So what can we really expect from Valdez, if anything?
You know what we expect from Valdez? Putting every fucking everything he has on every shot.
Yeah,
and that's it. He's not gonna try to box or anything. He's always throwing those punches like he's gonna land a punch and knock Navarrete out. That's what he's gonna do. He's gonna do the same thing. It's gonna be an exciting fight just because both guys have balls, but I don't know what's at stake here.
I was gonna say I like Valdez. Don't get me wrong. Even though I criticize him from a technical standpoint, the guy's got balls. He showed balls against Scott Quigg. He showed balls against Navarrete.
Scott Quigg was big as fuck. We talked about it.
Yeah. But like we were talking about with Sobers the other day, the fact that he surrounds himself with reptiles and lizards, I think he wants to be a lizard. He wants to be cold-blooded because he knows he's not. He's too self-conscious about what other people think. He looks down upon himself compared to other guys like Crawford and Spence. He thinks those guys are above him. I'm thinking, well, there you go. It's mental. The problem with Valdez is mental. So, I don't know. Navarrete,
I mean, he's mental as well. Yeah, that's a factor. But
yeah, but that's the thing.
I think we've seen. Yeah. Go ahead.
No, I don't understand Navarrete. Like Navarrete, people were criticizing him for looking at the shape. I don't know. He looked like he always does. He's not like me. He's not ripped, ready to roll, ready to rock and roll. So, but he's a killer in there. He really. I mean, this dude hits hard. Combination punching, weird punches from all angles. So I didn't expect him to look any different today at the weigh-in.
Mm-hmm.
By the way, we got Gonzalo. Is that Gonzalo?
Yeah, let's get his thoughts on this fight, and then we should move on because we already talked about this on the last show, I believe. All of these fights. So let's not talk about this again. Gonzalo, are you there?
How's it going?
What did he say? What?
He said, "Well, how's it going?"
How's it going?
Oh, what's up, man? Yeah, do you want to give us your take on the Valdez Navarrete fight? The rematch?
I mean, the first fight wasn't a bad fight. It was a pretty good fight in comparison to the ones we compared to, and that the people were expecting and how they were narrating the first one. It wasn't Morales versus Barrera. I mean, but it did have it's pretty good exchanges, especially like in the ninth round and stuff. BDA was mentioning that, and you were as well, that what can Valdez do differently? I mean, he's a shorter guy. What is he, like 5'6", in comparison to Navarrete, who's taller and lankier? And in order for him to get Navarrete's respect, he has to put everything on his shots. Because if he doesn't, it's not that he's gonna get run over necessarily. He's just gonna get outboxed by Navarrete using his length. And when Navarrete uses his length, he can still crack. He doesn't have to get up on you and pressure you. He can box you. He can power box you. He throws hard punches just because that's the way he hits. He hits with power. So in order, if Valdez comes in and tries to steam barrel his way forward and trade with Navarrete, he's gonna give away his distance. And Navarrete got good legs, so he can always create that separation and now outbox Valdez from afar while still landing the harder shots. So I mean, there's nothing much that Valdez can do differently. He does have to come forward. So in other words, he has no choice. He does have to come forward, barrel his way forward, and land hard punches to close the distance, to close the gap, and land his shots, and all the while trying to get Navarrete's respect. Because if not, Navarrete is gonna create that distance, and also he can also pressure if he needed to. So now Navarrete's got more ways to fight. So I see the fight kind of going the same way. I mean, can Valdez try to box a little better, kind of like the game plan that he utilized against Shakur? But I mean, we know it's a different type of boxing. He's not gonna have to box the same way. But at the end of the day, it is boxing, trying to use your brain a little bit more. But I still think Navarrete is obviously he's lankier, hits harder, and got good legs, and can box him better on the inside and the outside. So pretty much it.
It's interesting. Yeah, just real quick. I was rewatching the Valdez Navarrete fight, and Valdez did everything right in the first fight, or everything that he could do right. He did let his hands go. He tried working the body. He tried shooting that power jab that Gonzalo was talking about, but he was just up against a guy who was better than him. And again, hopefully Navarrete comes in there at 100%. Because Gonzalo, I don't know if you heard, I think you were there the last episode when I mentioned that Boxeo Atomico told me that Navarrete has been injured his last 2 fights, which I don't know if that's true or not. I mean, that, every fighter is always injured after he looks bad in a fight. So I don't know. Hopefully he gets his act together. At 29 years old, he already has a good resume. He was about to really be a top 10 pound for pounder until he hit a bit of a low point in this past year, 12 months. I mean, he had a draw against Conceição, and then a loss to Berenchik. So essentially, he's been 0-1-1 in the last 12 months. He really needs a win this Saturday. And now Valdez is just 33, by the way. It seems like he's been around forever, this dude. He's fought everybody. So it's going to be interesting to see what happens there. Oh, by the way, hey, tomorrow there's also Richard Torres is fighting. He's fighting Andy Ruiz Light. You remember that fat white Mexican that fought Jermaine Franklin not that long ago? Jermaine Franklin being the guy that went 12 rounds with Joshua. I believe it was last year. And then Franklin fought a fat white Mexican, and he went 12 rounds with him, or 10 rounds, I think. That's the dude that Torres is fighting. So he's durable. And we're going to see, and he's about the same height as Torres, too. Relatively short. So we're going to see what Torres is all about. Again, sometimes he tends to jump in. The last time he fought, he was fighting another short heavyweight who was afraid of him, and it was a bit of a mismatch. And I don't know. We'll see what happens. But one thing I do give Torres credit for is he always shows up in shape for a heavyweight. In the heavyweight division, people they let themselves get fat. Not him. He shows up in shape.
Yeah, he gives me a narcissist Anthony Joshua vibe.
Why is that?
I don't know. Well, you seen when he poses there during the weigh-in?
Does he ever explain what that pose is all about? I don't get it.
I think it's a tribute to some 70s porn star.
Then how come I don't know about it? Maybe it's a tribute to me. I don't know. But listen, yeah, we'll see. I think Lindolfo's fighting tomorrow too. Lindolfo Delegado. So it's a nice little card tomorrow from Top Rank. Really, the best card Top Rank has put on ESPN in a while, because this year for Top Rank was horrendous. Can't even remember the most memorable. I think the most memorable night they put on was when Shakur Stevenson drove his own fans away in New Jersey. You know how bad you gotta be for people from New Jersey to walk away from you? I mean, it's insane. Nothing against New Jersey, by the way, but I mean, it is what it is. All right, let's move on here. Bucho, what else we got here? Any interesting tidbits?
Well, you mentioned Top Rank. Did you hear about the rumor of Top Rank? They're gonna sell Top Rank.
Sell Top Rank?
No. Sorry. That was the way rumor. No, not sell. ESPN is gonna drop Top Rank. So
yeah. I mentioned that in the last episode. The Rick Glacier said that on TBS. Yeah.
But they're saying it's not gonna be the Zone, right?
Mm-hmm.
So where else could they go? They think some people are saying Amazon, but Amazon doesn't seem interested, I think, in.
Well, maybe they don't seem interested in the PBC product, because if you look at their resume or their books, it's horrendous what they've done. They've gone through several networks and have barely offered any type of significant ratings. Top Rank, on the other hand, I think they can boast in that, hey, we've been in the business for 50-something years, so here's what we can do, blah, blah. I suspect they're going to probably find some sort of novel outlet that no one else has found. I don't know. It'll be interesting to see. But they got until, what is it, May, I think? I think October, they said. 2025, something like that. It's still a while away.
Also, by the way, guys, I'm preparing a show, but we're talking about Top Rank, where it's going, and also the PBC. Where is that going? Because this year has been terrible for the PBC. I'm planning to contact Jimmy and do like an off-the-air show, maybe a live show, and we're just gonna focus on the PBC, see what's happening. Because, I mean, if you think about it, where were they in 2015? Where are they now? It's just fascinating. By the way, we got a donation here from somebody gave us a donation by using buymeacoffee.com. Thank you. This guy's name is Jin Ryu Jr. Ryu, sorry.
Well, no, is it Ryu or Ryu? I always forget, like that's Street Fighter.
I have no idea, man.
All right.
Let's call him Street Fighter guy.
He's been here for a while, Jin Ryu.
In the chat?
Yeah.
That name? Oh, yeah. Fuck, there's so many names.
But I don't like the 33. I don't like the 33, though. I don't know if that's a reference to Jesus or a Freemason
or Masonic. 33. Yeah. Salute BDA and Bucho. Keep up the great work. Always appreciated. Oh, sorry. It's always appreciated your lives. a few shekels to buy that hamburger helper. Right?
Hey, what do you know? Either hamburger helper or some ass, a slice of ass, like Virgil Ortiz. That's what he decides on.
Virgil Ortiz.
That's right. But shout out to Jim
Well, thank
Ryan.
you
I
for
really
that.
appreciate it. Yeah.
Yep, appreciate it.
Is there a way
man.
for me to put those messages up on the screen, Bucho, or do I have to log
Yeah,
on?
I think you have to log in. You have. I guess you would have to log in. And yeah.
All right. Well, I mean, hey, listen. You know what I suggest
We'll
to people?
figure it out, man.
Here's what I would suggest to people: if it's not too much work, just copy paste the message you leave on that when you make your donation and paste it on the chat. So that way I can put it up on the screen.
Check your phone. I told you to download the app. I think you have it now. So if you just check your phone, because I told you to download the app.
Which I did.
Log
Well,
in.
yeah, it's on there.
Yeah.
But what I'm saying is I want to put it up on the screen. But anyway, we'll figure it out later.
Yeah.
What were we saying? Oh, yeah, Top Rank. So, yeah, Top Rank, it's still a long way away. We'll see what happens. PBC, by the way, Steven Espinosa. I posted this on Twitter, Butcher, because I know you told me to tweet a little bit more. Did you see what he said recently during the Tank Davis press conference? This guy, he shows up.
I didn't watch the press conference at all, man. Seriously.
But he didn't say it during the press conference. He said it like, after the press conference when all the media's, they're trying to interview anybody they can find. So he was holding court over there. I don't know what he does nowadays. Jimmy's mentioned this before, how he used to be the president of Showtime Sports or whatever it was, whatever his title was. He was one of the main honchos. To now, he's just some sort of coordinator, I guess. I don't know. I think maybe he directs the press towards the buffet table or something. I don't know. Well, he holds court and people still want to get his opinion on how to ruin a network or something. And in regards to Jaron Ennis, this is what he had to say. Because now it's out in the open that Jaron Ennis his side is at fault for not fighting Virgil Ortiz. So the title on Boxing Scene is Jaron Ennis did not dog Virgil Ortiz, says Steven Espinosa. Something like that. That's I'm paraphrasing the title. So then I go, okay, well, what's Steven Espinosa going to say? You know what he said? He said, I know Steven Espinosa, Jaron Boots Ennis. I know Bozy Ennis, his father or uncle, whatever. They are not duckers. This dude will not duck anybody, blah, 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 blah. And I continue reading. I go, what? That's it. It was just his opinion. It's like, no, I don't believe that he ducked. Meanwhile, all the evidence is out there that this dude, his side ducked. But Steven Espinosa still with his Weasley ways going, no, trust me, bro. I know the inside scoop. Well, why? Well, because I know Jaron Ennis and his father. That's it. So we're supposed to believe him. Just like we were supposed to Just like we were supposed to believe him all these years, Bucho. That's Showtime Boxing and the PBC. They were doing great.
You little fucking weasel.
I mean, I gotta tell you, this dude, you can tell he's an attorney, a lawyer. Just like Jimmy says, the word salad, run-on sentences, the nonsense that comes out of his mouth.
Is there a man that looks like a weasel?
No one's buying that shit anymore.
No. But
what else do we have here?
So so that was the whole thing about PBC. I mean, they said they were going to do 12 shows this year, and meanwhile they've done 5. So whatever. Now, the other thing was, should we get into the Usyk thing right away, or?
Well, something. Some people are talking about the Bohachuk Madrimov fight and how that doesn't really make sense. The fact that Madrimov, that fight's gonna take place 2 months before the February 22nd card.
It's insane.
It's insane. Bohachuk is basically. I guess he feels insulted by this. And
I would be too.
I have a feeling that something's gonna happen with Madrimov. He's gonna be a tough fight, obviously, and I don't think Madrimov's gonna be ready for that Virgil Ortiz fight.
You know what I was thinking? I was thinking, what happens if everyone's expecting this to be a tough fight, and then Madrimov goes in there and catches this dude within the first 3 rounds, follow up barrage, and boom, that's all she wrote.
That'd be perfect for Madrimov. That'd be the perfect scenario. But I don't think Bohachuk is a very dangerous fighter. He's a tough guy, as we saw in that Ortiz fight. I don't understand why His Excellency didn't say, the winner of this fight fights Ortiz. I know we already had Ortiz Bohachuk, but why not have it again? And it would make more sense. Madrimov might even come into this fight just trying to play it safe. You know what I mean? So, this has repercussions on that February fight.
Again, I was thinking, on paper, it's a very dangerous fight, and they're cutting it too close for everyone's liking. The scheduling a fight ahead of time when Madrimov, like you said, still has a dangerous Bohajok fight. But here's the thing. I mean, maybe, just maybe, they're banking on Bohajok, who was hurt multiple times against Ortiz. Everyone just talks about Ortiz getting dropped. They don't talk about, I think it was about at least 2 times where Ortiz stunned the dude. And Bohajok has been stopped before. And if there's one thing we know about Madrimov is the guy can crack. So maybe, I know it sounds crazy, but maybe they're banking on Madrimov catching him coming in and sort of making a quick night of it. But I wanted to ask Gonzalo too. Gonzalo, when it comes to Madrimov versus Bohajok, Madrimov, if I remember correctly, we were one of the few people here who were adamant that, yeah, Madrimov is no soft touch for Crawford. Meanwhile, you had other people thinking Crawford was Superman and he was going to just run through him. But now I'm thinking, I'm not looking at this the same way, though, coming in. Now I'm thinking, yeah, Madrimov, Bohajok's a tough fight for Madrimov because I don't think he's an inside fighter. This is the first time he's going to fight a guy who walks forward and just never stops throwing punches. What do you think about that fight, Gonzalo? Madrimov versus Bohajok.
Oh yeah, that's right. I noticed that Madrimov has the tendency to leap, so he could end up getting caught as he leaps forward by the inside fighter. It's a pretty good fight. It's a pretty good fight. It's actually a really good fight. It's just when you get two Eastern Europeans facing each other, I get the sense that they're trying to have them cancel each other. So in other words, I would rather see Eastern European fight an American or a Mexican American. But it is what it is. One's gonna become the winner and will become a mandatory for whoever for whatever other fighters are out there at the 154 division. It's a good fight. I don't know who wins, but I'm thinking from what I saw from Bohajok, I was more impressed in his last performance compared to Madrimov versus Crawford. Because like you said, everybody thought Crawford was gonna have his way with Madrimov, but consider this: he's already jumped up 4 weight divisions. He started at 140. And he's 40 years old. And Madrimov is a career 154 pounder. He should have probably just, it should have been, he could have won that easily. I mean, because Crawford is a good fighter, but like I said, this is his 4th weight division, and he is 40 years old, running on 40.
Yeah, running on 40. By the way, Robert Garcia, I think he recently said he's very dubious about whether Ortiz is going to fight Madrimov. He thinks they're going to put him, even if Madrimov wins, they're going to put him in, they're going to put Ortiz in with somebody else. By the way, shout out to Don Chile, who says, Turkey is looking for new hands to hold. Turkey's insatiable. His thirst for touching other men's hands is really insatiable and very hard to satisfy. It's the hunger. Don't forget to hit the like, fellas. Hit the like. Really helps us out. We're talking about a whole bunch of things regarding boxing here. I don't know what to say about Crawford. What?
Yeah, well, yeah, Crawford. I posted it. Everybody has probably seen it at this point. He said in a tweet, 2025, I will show the world once again how great I am. What do you mean show again? So he feels that he hasn't showed it in 2024. He had one fight, right? Am I mistaken? Only one fight against Madrimov?
You're right.
He didn't. It was a close fight, and so yeah, he probably feels like he's not that guy that coming out of that Spence domination where everybody's crowning him as the undisputed #1 pound for pound boxer. He doesn't feel like they're treating him that way. And obviously, I mean, there's other boxers that are outperforming him in the pound for pound rankings, in my opinion. I mean, we had Beterbiev, Usyk, and even Inoue, right? So I mean, I do believe he wants to prove himself though in 2025. I do believe he wants to show us that he's, in his mind, the best pound for pound boxer. Now, how can he prove that? That's my question to you guys in the chat, and you, Gonzalo. Go ahead.
It's not easy. It's not easy because not just him, for everybody. How many world champions has there been in multiple weight divisions above more than 3? I mean, yeah, there's like 5 or 6 Mexicans that were 3 division world champions, but when you get to 4 divisions, I think there was only 1 or 2. And in the entirety of like all boxers, Yeah, there's been like 2 or 3 6 division world champions, 1 8 division, but above 4, you can count them with your hands. Probably there hasn't been that many. Remember when Julio Cesar Chavez tried to fight at welter?
I mean,
Didn't work out for him.
Travieso Arce did it, but I think there was something. It was an interim title or something. He's not really a four division champion? I think. So, yeah.
And now you're 40. There's a reason why you knew he's not jumping to 126. I heard a comment. Yeah, maybe because dudes get bigger, and when you try to, not only that, they get bigger, but Crawford's older. But when you add on weight, your whole mechanics change. The mechanics of the way you throw your punches are not the same. And it was interesting because I was listening to Joe Rogan, and there was this guy talking about how he used to be a basketball player, and when he was skinny, he could land the threes, but when he started adding weight, he just felt more clunky. It's the same thing with boxing.
Yeah,
same thing with
right.
boxing. Your mechanics change. The way you throw your punches, they're slower and stuff like that. So I mean, it's not easy.
Yeah, so we saw Crawford at 154. He kind of struggled. I mean, Madrimov is not a bad boxer. Also, it could have been the age factor, the weight factor. But now people are talking about Crawford moving up to 168. So if weight is really starting to become an issue at 154, I mean, what the fuck are we talking about here? 168?
point,
Are you
man.
serious?
Yeah, man. I mean, that's a good point. It's like, listen, one thing about Crawford is his power has been a big factor in his success. Whether it was a 140 and especially a 147, he was getting into these tough fights with some power opposition. And what was a common denominator in all his wins? His power bailing him out. Now that he's at 154, that power is still substantial, enough to hurt a guy like Madrimov or to keep him honest. But he's no longer. I mean, if this was a 147, that would have been the same thing with Madrimov. He's losing rounds. He's looking average, and then all of a sudden, boom, hits the guy with a big shot, follow up barrage, and then all the ESPN commentators proceed to lick his nutsack. That's it. That way he always went. But this time he fought a young guy, his size, or actually Crawford was bigger on Fight Night, by the way, according to what I read. And so, yeah, he's sort of hitting the wall now, hitting the reality wall. So, and then on top of that, I keep reiterating that Turki Al-Sheikh said after the Crawford-Madrimov fight, he said, well, I would like to see him fight Ortiz and Zhu and all those dudes, but I don't know if he wants those fights. And I keep asking, what type of conversation he had with Crawford, or what did Crawford say in those conversations that would lead the Sheikh to believe that Crawford doesn't want any of those fights? Because, I mean, we have to assume that Crawford, and again, this is all speculation, Crawford's probably voicing his opinion that, hey, listen, I want Canelo. I don't want anybody else.
I mean, if you're Crawford at this point, yeah, go ahead.
Yeah, it looks like he's picking and choosing. Every like top guy is going to be a tough fight for Crawford now that he's 40 at 154. With the whole Canelo thing, him jumping up all the way to the 168-pound division, I think it's a one-off thing too, because I don't think he's interested in fighting the other 68-pounders, so it is a cash grab. And it's a stylistic fight that he sees Canelo being maybe his same height and Crawford having the longer reach. And now that Canelo has also moved up, he fights in one way, like, throwing the sledgehammers and stuff. So he kind of sees that maybe he can approach that fight with a good game plan, and stylistically, he may be able to compete. I still think he probably gets knocked out, but from a stylistic standpoint, he might be competitive in the beginning, and who knows what might happen. But if he was really interested in saying, "Oh, I'm competitive, 68," I mean, he would fight other guys too, but he would never mention him fighting Benavidez when he was at 68 or other guys. So it's just one of those things.
He believes in his athleticism, right?
Maybe he believes he can utilize his legs and step back and and throw that punch. He's stepping back. He can throw that punch and clip Canelo coming in and just outbox. Kind of like the way he fought David Benavidez, box or a postal. Kind of like that. But when you do have to sit down in a shot, he would sit down against Canelo. But I still think Canelo would come forward and close the distance.
Yeah. Before we continue, another donation from buymeacoffee.com. We have, it's Rapax Trucking Company, always supporting the show. I appreciate that. He says the best boxing show. Well, thank you for that. And thank you for your donations, man. Really appreciate it.
Shout out to Rapax Trucking Company 10-4. And by the way, may I just add a little addendum there? It's not just the best boxing show. I would argue it's the only show you need to watch for the salvation of your soul. So that's what I would argue, and that's my opinion. But hey, shout out to
the
him.
most important thing. Yeah,
Absolutely.
Your soul.
Absolutely. You don't want to spend it in a vat of sewage, chalk, your nails all chalked up on the charred walls of the dam. But anyway, listen, the point is, shout out to Rapax Trucking Company. We really appreciate it. And hopefully he enjoyed the show yesterday on Second Renaissance. John, Never Sobers, Recognize, and Timothy Figueroa were there. And John Gonzalez refers to Navy SEALs as Navy squeals because he says that he says that when it really matters, they get their ass kicked. Like, oh, come on, what the fuck are you talking about? Anyway, go check it out. It's on Rumble. It's on Rumble. But what was it going to... Oh, yeah, that's
Gonzalo made some good points, man.
Of course he did. It's Gonzalo.
Yeah, of course. No, but, it's... how big is... Canelo's thicker. But if you look at the dimensions, they're pretty much the same. And I'm talking arm length, height. And I think Crawford thinks that he can pull off a Floyd Mayweather. Because also, you look at the Floyd Canelo fight, Floyd was just... he didn't look that small, in my opinion.
You're right. He dehydrated. He had a dehydration catchweight thing with Canelo, but that was 11 years ago. Canelo
of course, it's completely different.
You look at Canelo's back and neck. That's where really you can tell he's added a bunch of muscle too. And you're right though. People equate that win. Well, Mayweather did it. And again, they look at the surface level thing. They look at Crawford. They look at Mayweather. Go, okay, they're both Afro Anglos. They're both fast. They're both pound for pounders. Therefore, Crawford's going to do to Canelo what Mayweather did. And they don't take into account all the factors. Like I said, that fight was 11 years ago. Canelo's bigger now. He's better. Crawford is not Mayweather. He's hittable, way more hittable than Mayweather ever was. I mean, I don't understand where these people... I mean, like Gonzalo said, I would give him a chance. It's boxing. But, these professional boxers, they go, oh, yeah, Crawford, he's just that much better. Better at what? Really? Better at what? Because he moves more? That immediately lets people think that, oh, well, if he moves more, that means he's better, more agile. Canelo doesn't need to run. He's the one that pressures people. He's the one that sets the pace. So why the fuck would he need to move? The last time he back foot bitch was against Golovkin, and he should have lost that fight. That's the fight where he learned, I got to do what Golovkin does. I got to put the pressure on, put the pedal to the metal. He doesn't need to run around the ring. So, again, there's that misconception that Crawford is somehow more skilled than he is because he moves around the ring more.
In the chat, Isaac Bermudez says Crawford is 99 cents Storm Mayweather.
Well, I wouldn't go that far. He's more entertaining than Mayweather. He's more entertaining than Mayweather.
More entertaining. He's not Mayweather, man. I don't know. Some people compare him to Mayweather just because they're both African Americans. I don't get this bullshit. I'm debating somebody about how that fight would play out, whatever. Or well, Floyd did this. Who cares? They don't even fight the same way.
Exactly.
What the fuck are we talking about here?
The difference with Canelo now is, people see him since he did put on more weight, and you could, okay, if you look at it like this, you obviously see him coming forward. So he's coming at you. So you could consider, okay, he's one-dimensional. He's coming at you. But the biggest difference with him now, especially if he fights a smaller fighter, the punch variation. So he's going to take a shot. He might block it. He might eat it. He's going to close the distance. But when it comes to him throwing a variation, he can fucking take the shot, eat it, but then you think he's going to go downstairs, but then he might go to your head. You might think he's going to your head. He's going to your body.
Exactly.
Right? So he's doing like that. He's breaking your guard also with one punch to set up the other punch, to open up the way for the second punch. So he's doing things like that to where he's gonna get his. At the end of the day, you're gonna get yours, but he's gonna get a piece of you too.
Well, you know what, Gonzalo? Still, again, that Berlanga fight, I still maintain was relatively boring because nothing was happening after. But when he dropped Berlanga with that lead left hook, that was a hellacious shot. He uncorked that left, boom, just real snapped it. And draw Berlanga, Berlanga never saw it coming. And like you said, it's because he was setting that show up, going downstairs with the wide right hand, and then a straight right hand, and then leading with the left hook, and then repeat. And then before you know it, that lead left hook doesn't see it coming, boom, catches him. Same thing against Charlo. He kept throwing the right hook, and then he just changed the angle so that it would come down the middle and he hit the guy in the fourth. So anyway, what I'm trying to get at is, yeah, Canelo cracks hard enough that if he's dropping Charlo, if he's dropping Berlanga, he's dropping Munguia, he can drop Crawford. But now that's the thing. Is Crawford going to get on his bike and just say, I'm going to fight as safe as possible and as boring as possible, and I don't care if I lose a decision.
When
as
has
long
he
as
done that?
Postal. When he fought Postal,
Yeah,
was
exactly.
his
I
best
was gonna
opponent.
say that. That's but other than that, sometimes he gets heated into the how to say in the moment. Like he gets hit and he wants to hit the other guy back and he starts strong. But he has done that against fighters where I believe he knew he wasn't at risk.
Well, he knows he has that. He knew he had that equalizer even at 147. At 168 against Canelo, he's not going to have that. He didn't have it against Madrimov. He's not going to have that equalizer against Canelo. He knows it. That's why I think he's going to really play it boring, and so that even if he loses a decision, at least he doesn't get knocked out. And he's going to say, well, I fought a bigger guy. I fought a bigger guy.
That's what I asked. Does Canelo have anything? Does Crawford have anything to lose in this fight? I'm asking everybody in the chat as well. What do you guys think? Does Crawford, if he loses, like BDA said, I mean, he can always say, I was moving up to weight divisions. I'm 37 years old, whatever. But is he that type of person, though? That type of fighter that he's willing to?
Yeah, he is. I mean, when he fought Postal, man, Postal for a long time, until he fought Spence, Postal was the best opponent he fought, I dare say. Even better than Porter, because at that time, Porter was, 1 foot out the door. But look at how he fought Postal. Which, I mean, I understand the tactic. Look, you're fighting a taller guy. He wants you to come forward. So what did he do? He didn't come forward. He said, you come to me. But again, people say that, he schooled Postal. I don't know. I think he barely won that fight. I mean, every round he was doing just a little bit more than Postal. But that was it. He didn't school Postal. He wasn't beating him up. One knockdown shouldn't have been called a knockdown. He cuffed him behind the head. So, I mean, if he fought Postal that way, I have to wonder, how is he going to fight Canelo?
Yeah, that's what I was thinking. He's going to have to play it safe. And I believe that would be his last fight.
And by the way, people keep saying that, Madrimov, again, we're going to get into this if the fight ever happens more in detail, but people kept saying after the Madrimov fight, they said, yeah, but Canelo, I mean, Madrimov has better footwork than Canelo, and Canelo doesn't feint as much. I'm thinking, have you ever, like Gonzalo just pointed out, anyone who really knows how to watch a fight knows that, Canelo does feint a lot. So I don't understand what these people are talking about. And then as per the footwork, Canelo doesn't come in and out like Madrimov does, because he doesn't have to. He has a better guard. He has better defense than Madrimov. That makes up for the so-called fleet feet or superior fleet feet that Madrimov has. Again,
it's like Chavez.
He's like Chavez, a little bit, yeah.
I mean, but you know what I mean.
No, I got you. Like he's making the fight now. He's bringing it to his opponents. The only thing is, Chavez was more active and went to the body a lot more, whereas Canelo doesn't throw that shovel hook to the liver anymore. He'll actually, like Gonzalo said, he'll throw them like regular hooks to the body so he can open up something upstairs. If he fought more like Chavez, he'd be getting stoppages, but for some reason he's content with just one shot at a time, which is, again, boring. I'm tired of these Canelo fights that always go
lazy. I call it the lazy version of Canelo.
Well, now, if you're saying he's lazy, is there a chance for Crawford to take advantage of that laziness?
How would Canelo come into this fight? Yeah, what I'm saying. I mean, is he going to all of a sudden change something, or he's going to still be fight? Like he's going to have that same type of motivation that or that look that he's been bringing in lately, where he's like he just seems to be there just for a payday.
Well, not even that, but what weight is this going to take place at?
168, man. I don't think Canelo's going to go down for this.
There was a clip from Crawford at that Breakfast Club or whatever. I don't know what year it was from, so it could have been way back. But they asked him, "Hey, what do you think about the Canelo fight?" He said, "Well, if we can do it at a catch weight or 160." That's what he said, 160, which I think he knows is ridiculous.
Canelo's not going to 160. He's crazy.
Yeah,
there's no way Canelo goes. I don't think Canelo wants this fight. But like he says, it's business. If it's business, I'll talk to Turkey. Oh, okay, so if it's business, if it's money, there's gonna be money involved. I'm telling everybody, whether you like it or not, we have to agree that this is a big fight.
That's right.
This is a mega fight.
Yeah, you can make it at a catch weight, like around 165. That's still for the middleweight titles, right? Anything from 60 to 68. Canelo has come in at 167, 166, I believe.
Yeah, but again, listen. My thing is this: if Crawford really wants that fight, he wants greatness. Do it at 168. Why do you need a catch weight for?
Okay.
You don't. Yeah.
No, exactly. You know, well, people are gonna claim that Canelo is not really a super middleweight, right? So he should go down. Like he can actually make 166, 165 or whatever.
Want everything on the level, Bucho. I want everything on the level so that there's no.
No, I agree.
Misequivocation.
By the way, okay, so again, let's go back to that tweet. Crawford says, 2025, I will show the world once again how great I am. Is he talking about the Canelo fight, or is there something else he can do? What can he do? I mean, obviously, 154 gets tried to unify.
Welcome to Blog Talk Radio.
Well, what else? What can he do to show how great he is?
Jerron Ennis recently got a lot of flack, as we mentioned earlier, for dodging Virgil Ortiz. So he needs to make up for that. He needs to, his IQ rating, not Q rating, excuse me, his Q rating took a big hit this year with the Karen fight going wayside or almost going wayside. Then this, maybe they finally get together, or maybe the Turkey finally offers them something that they can both live with, and they decide to make that fight. Is that something that you think could maybe Crawford in his mind thinks, well, yeah, greatness. I'm fighting a younger guy in his prime. This is what's going to show my greatness. Do you guys think that's something that...
Yeah,
Talk Radio.
I think that's a possible fight, but at the same time, it doesn't seem like he's very... Well, I mean, now he's saying that he wants to show how great he is. In our opinion, as boxing fans, that would make sense. But at the same time, let's not forget that this guy seems like he just wants a big payday. Or else he would have fought more times last year. He was waiting for something to happen. Nothing really happened, and fought Madrimov. So why take on a risk?
Well, you mentioned that, right? That he's injured. Did we talk about that?
And it's not... No, we didn't talk about that.
Well, we're going to mention that. Yeah, supposedly he's injured. So
he's injured now?
Yeah. So I don't know if he injured himself in training after the Madrimov fight. I don't know.
The whole year didn't... He's... Yeah, okay, whatever.
So that's why they were saying
he might be injured.
Yeah, I don't know what's going on.
What happened throughout the whole year? Like, he fought in August, I believe.
Well, you got to remember too, how long was, because remember that after Spence activated the rematch clause, they effectively sidelined Crawford. But I think that was for 6 months. So that was probably by the beginning of 2024. I think he was ready to go. I think I'd have to double check. By the way, the phone lines.
Whatever.
I think the phone lines are fucked up again, Bucho.
Oh, fucking phone lines. You guys, by the way, we're changing the phone line service because Block Dogs, they're going to shut down. So we found another one, but we got to do some tests.
Yeah, Block Dog. I mean, Block Dog, look at what
that shit's old, man. From 2006, I checked, man.
It's the fourth time in the last 3 months that, or at least that all of a sudden there's a problem with the phone lines. So this is unacceptable.
Fucking A.
Yeah, we got to move on.
All right,
then.
So maybe we can...
Sorry, but we're experiencing a problem with our system. Please try your call again later or report a problem through the
fuck off.
Radio.
Maybe we can use... we can use StreamYard, I guess.
Yeah. Well, let's set up a StreamYard call. People can call in that way.
By the way, guys, yeah, we'll take care of the phone. I'm going to pay for the other service as soon as... But this weekend, I'll do some tests. See how that shit works. That's why we need your support to keep this show going. So Patreon, we're going to be posting more content. We mean it. We already posted a small video. We did some tests, but we're going to be posting more content on Patreon. And you can donate right now via buymeacoffee.com. The link is in the description. Link is pinned in the chat. And as soon as you send us a message, we're going to read it on the show. So check out buymeacoffee.com.
Shout out to who's donated so far.
Hey, BDA. Yeah, thank you for everybody who has donated so far. The Kang, Deontay Wilder, is in the news somewhat. Well, first of all, Turkey, his Excellency Al-Sheikh, he says that he wants to see Ngannou versus Deontay Wilder.
You know what?
Yeah.
I mean, I think, again, it's anybody can get knocked down in that one. But the way Ngannou
I would be interested.
Yeah, the way Ngannou failed to evade those Joshua right hands, and I know Joshua was setting them up with feints, whereas Wilder's not going to do that. But Wilder, even at 38 or 37, however old he may be, I think he still has that quicker 1-2 than
39.
Joshua. 39, geez, Luis. Okay, but Ngannou has a good counter left hook. So I don't know who would win that one. I would be interested if they put it in the mega card and they stick it somewhere in there in the middle. Yeah, I would watch that.
Exactly. In an undercard, I would definitely watch it just because I don't know what's going to happen. I think Ngannou has a good chance. And but Wilder with that right hand, he's fighting an inexperienced boxer, if you want to call him that. And so anything can happen in that fight.
Hey, what about
protected generally the chances Ngannou gets sparked? Maybe.
Yeah, probably.
What were you gonna say?
I was gonna say before we continue on with that. Zhilei Zhang, we gotta mention that this dude fought Hrgovic in 2022. Then he fights Joe Joyce twice. Then he fights Joseph Parker. Then he fights Deontay Wilder. Now he's going to be fighting Caballel or Kaibel, or whatever his name is. That dude who just took out two top, not top ranked, but up and coming heavyweights. You know, the troll looking guy from our neck of the woods here in Montreal. And then Frank Sanchez, who I thought was a dark horse of the division. Now he's taking on Zhang. Could be looking for upset number 3. Zhilei Zhang taking that risk. Big up to him, man. Big up to him.
Right. He's Ajit Kabayel, 25-0 with 17 knockouts. He's 32 years old. He stopped Frank Sanchez and Magdulov. Oh my God, I can't pronounce that name.
He's a monster, man.
So, and Zhilei Zhang is 41 years old, by the way.
That's right.
I think this would be for the WBC intern heavyweight title.
Is that right?
So, I guess the winner gets a title shot. I don't know how that shit works. But
by the way, we got a phone call here from Dora.
Yeah. All right.
Hey, wait, but BDA, be honest. Am I actually the reason that your shit got taken down? Are you allowed to disclose what happened or what?
Well, first of all, I never said that you were the reason. I don't know why you're assuming that you were the reason.
No, he thinks he's special. Dora, you're not special.
No, I'd rather. Okay, good. I'd rather not.
It's not about you, man. It's not about you.
You can't get super chats. All right, good.
Go ahead.
Well, Bucho, I was gonna say first off, you need to learn how to pronounce like quote unquote my people's names because we're forced to know how to say your Latino Zbik names. So you need to get better at saying Arslanbek Makhmudov. And secondly, are you guys ever thinking about Crawford versus? That's the guy's name that Caballel beat before he beat Sanchez.
Well, are you Eastern European?
No, fuck no. Because all the blacks think I am. No,
then why are you saying my people? Then why are you saying my people? Not all. See, that's the thing. Not all white people. Not all white people are white.
I know.
Nordic people and Eastern European people. They're yeah. Anyway, go ahead.
They're not the same. Yeah. But you hit the nail on the head. I'm Scandinavian, Anglo-Aryan. But anyways, I was just trolling, dude. I'm not fucking some culture or whatever.
He's Dora-Aryan.
Yeah. Well, Central European. What are you supposed to say? Like he's not an Aryan.
No, I got you.
They're the same fucking thing, anyways. It don't matter. I don't know because Caballel's got a great work rate, man, and I do think Zhang's gas tank issues they're still prevalent. I mean, he's old as shit too. He struggled with Parker in the end of that fight. I actually personally didn't think Zhang lost that fight. I did score a draw. Or actually Zhang winning. The commentary in that fight was so blatantly, abhorrently biased to Parker's pity pat bullshit. Zhang was landing hard, authoritative punches, holding the center of the ring. They were acting like after 7 or 8 rounds, that fight was very close when it wasn't. Now I do, concede that Parker won a lot of those late rounds. That fight really could have went either way. And those disgusting British horsefuck teeth retards absolutely ruined what was a great fight with their horrible commentary. They're just China haters, I think. But I don't know who I'm favoring yet in that fight. When it comes to Crawford, is a fight with Omaha like reasonable or what against Jaron Ennis, or is that possible?
Yeah, that's a good question. He said
Omaha.
He said, y'all think I can feel? Y'all think I can do 90,000 in Omaha? I'm thinking. Can you even do 9,000 in Omaha? No, I'm kidding. I know he can do more than that, but more than 9,000. But 90,000, eesh. That's a bit of a stretch now, isn't it?
Well, against Ennis, but what would be a play?
He really does 30 or 40,000, which is still a lot.
Yeah, does Crawford have a belt?
Not at,
Yeah,
at 54,
fucking-
yeah, but he's gonna get stripped if he's not active.
No, they're not. They're gonna make an exception for him. Trust me, they love him.
Yeah, probably
Everyone
right.
loves him.
Yeah. I don't know. He just can do
This
no
Paul
wrong. You see,
Woodson is moving up in weight. It's not interesting. Go ahead, Dora.
I was gonna say what really pissed me off about Crawford's career is this whole bullshit like racism shit that he used his black privilege card,
Oh, wait a minute.
on white society. Yeah,
No.
dude. Listen, the fact of the matter is this guy had the highest guarantee of any other welterweight, was getting paid $4 million to lose money for Top Rank. And yeah, Top Rank was willing to cash this guy out against Spence, recoup some of their losses, say, okay, we did this for you. We scratched your back, you scratched mine. But boxing is a shrewd business, man. And there's a lot of people that are not loyal to their promoters, and that's fine. That's their choice. But what he did to Bob Arum, who I don't even like because he's kind of a J, but like it's the same
Jeez
time.
Louise.
Principle's principle. And what he did to Bob Arum was horrible. That's kind of what made me completely turned off from this guy. I mean, the fact that he's overrated, but almost every fighter that's undefeated is overrated in some way, in my opinion. So, and the people that got losses are underrated, usually. But who knows? We'll see. It's gonna be a great card. I don't know how Majumov would even fight Virgil Ortiz 2 months after fighting Boachuk, even if he wins that fight, which I'm not picking him to win. I don't know who you guys are picking yet in that fight, but how the hell would he go and turn around and immediately fight Virgil Ortiz? And same thing with Boachuk. If Boachuk has a hard fight with Majumov, how is he going to immediately turn around and fight Virgil Ortiz? Like, what's going on with that?
I mean, listen.
I agree.
And-
It's stupid.
Well, it's not
Could they get
stupid.
Murtazaliev in there?
Well, it's not going to be a good look because I mean, if you're a Virgil Ortiz fan and Virgil Ortiz beats Madrimov after Madrimov comes off a tough fight, I mean, how much credit can you give Ortiz?
I'll
for
give him
that
all
to
the
win?
credit in
Right.
the world. I'll give him all the credit in the world. How
I
about
don't know,
that?
man. Well, it depends on what happens. You know.
Nah.
December
Yeah, I don't
21st.
even think Majumov wins
Even
that
if-
fight.
even
But
if-
anyway, you
even-
guys go ahead.
Even if Madrimov gets into the fight of his life against Bohajak, and then 2 months later Ortiz beats the crap out of him, I'm going to give Ortiz all the credit in the world plus more. How about that?
Okay, man.
Yeah, I think it's very reasonable. You're definitely not showing your brown bias or anything like that. That's what the blacks would come on and say, that you're fucking racist.
It's
and
not
shit.
about race. I'm a fellow ass eater and hamburger helper enthusiast.
Oh,
That's
okay.
why. Yeah.
Yeah, shit eater boo or shit eater
No,
BBA.
I don't know. What are you talking about? I'm not chewing on shit. See, people always say that. People always say that
I'm an
about
ass man. I'm an ass man.
people always say that about people who perform analingus. They go, "Oh yeah, you chew on shit." Like, no, you're not chewing. Anyway.
No, that's the whole joke, though. You just kind of over exaggerate what you're doing, right? So, like,
Exactly.
if you're gonna eat her goes ass, you just say you eat her shit. Okay. You
Hey,
probably
Dora,
shouldn't say that. But.
Real quick, Paro Hitchens. I don't know if you gave us your prediction last time.
I got Paro 116, 112, 115, 113. I think it's going to be a competitive fight. But I was talking with somebody in your server yesterday, and this is kind of indicative of what happened with Curtis Stevens' career, depending on how he loses after losing to Gennady Golovkin. What I mean by that is if Paro puts up a good fight, a spirited effort, actually comes to fight and makes it competitive and exciting but loses, the shit he talked is going to end up hurting him far more than putting up that good effort, because that's he's going to be remembered as that. It's going to kill his marketability. I don't think these black American fighters are saying that the era of Floyd Mayweather is over. I'm not trying to be racist. I'm being genuine. Like here, that dude's gone. He's been out of boxing for a decade. That doesn't sell. People just wanted to see Floyd Mayweather lose, but he had blatant fixed fights. He was able to stick IVs up his ass to cheat. You know, they cry when fucking when Haney gets shit. When Haney cheats, it's not a problem, but when Floyd cheats, it's excuses, right? They, these certain people pick and choose. We know who, and the casinos are on this side. He's got his American judges, American ref. It was all a scam for him to always be set up to win in every single fight, no matter what. That doesn't exist anymore because boxing is a global sport. And now that the American market, i.e., what supported boxing for decades, in large part, not solely, but white Americans, white people, have now gone into UFC and MMA. And the funny thing is, back when white people actually supported the sport in the 70s and 80s, there were more black American fighters that were dominant than they are now. But they're tired of the privilege. They're tired of the BLM boxing. They don't want to see it no more. And you're seeing that in really how boxing is turning to a niche sport in the United States because white people are done with it.
I mean, you're talking about globalization, global era, new world order.
Well,
sounds like a bunch of
globalization,
WEF commie bullshit to me. If you ask me.
So you tell me that the white American public is interested in boxing as much as they were 30 years ago?
I think they're still interested in Crawford.
I don't think anybody's interested in boxing as
well,
before,
sure, but just in general, that demographic is long sailed out of boxing since Floyd Mayweather ruined it. Let's just be honest.
Oh, it's a majority.
But yeah, I got
so it's a
Paro.
majority.
Oh,
So
go ahead.
yeah.
Yep. But yeah, I got Paro winning a close fight, and if Hitchens does lose, I mean, he tanked his marketability, man, because you can't talk all that shit and then lose because you're just gonna be remembered as a fucking joke, just like Haney. So
There
that
you
is
go.
what it is. Also, he got punked. He got absolutely fucking punked by Paro's manager. You guys know what happened after their face-off before the weigh-ins today, or what? It was yesterday.
Something
So
about a
basically,
bet.
yeah. He was wolfing out the mouth, saying he was going to make a bet. So Paro's manager steps to him, to his chest, and said, "All right, 200,000 right now
Whoa.
on spot." He didn't shake his hand. He said, "Nah, no, I'm done." He said, "I want to take his money." He wants to take Paro's money. So basically, Hitchens was saying that's a rich white man. You know, he can afford to lose that kind of
No,
money.
that's not what
But
he said.
Hitchens, yeah. But Paro can't. So he
What the hell?
bitched
Man,
out.
he's
Yeah,
making
he got
shit up,
scared.
man.
Yeah, he's making no, but yeah. All right, well, listen, I want to, before we continue, Dora, we got to move on, though, but anything else you want to say?
No, because I don't want to get you in trouble.
Well, you got us in enough trouble this past year,
thank you.
but shout out to Dora. Yeah, I wanted to say that real quick about the Hitchens Power thing, because I saw that they were doing that photo shoot at the beach, like a sort of face-off. Right away, Hitchens starts barking. And I'm thinking, and I'm trying to listen to what he's saying because the microphone, because they don't have a good microphone on the camera, or they don't have him with a lapel mic. They don't have him mic'd up, so it's difficult to hear what they're saying. But Hitchens, from what I could ascertain, he was saying things like, I'm too good for you, blah blah blah. And then Power goes, "It's gonna be easy." And then the guy goes, "Oh, did you say it's gonna be easy? You say it's gonna be easy? Oh." And he's acting all indignant. I'm thinking, why are you? I'm thinking, why are you barking so much? Butch, I think I've told you this before, and Gonzalo, I'm curious to hear what you think. Why is it that the most boring guys out there, the most boring boxers who throw one punch at a time, move around the ring, clinch, shake their asses, why are these guys the most vocal when it comes to talking smack? As if they're really going to lay down a beatdown.
I'm going to fuck you up. I'm going to fuck you up. Like, you don't have any knockout power. You don't, I mean, maybe you outbox your opponent. You're not going to fuck them up. I don't know why they do that, BD. Yeah, to be honest, I have no idea.
The other one, the other one I hate is when a guy does exactly what you said, the ass style, which is one punch at a time, moving excessively, clinching, shaking their asses, and then when the final round, the last 30 seconds of the final round, they start literally running around the ring, putting their hands up, and then when the fight's over, they jump on the corner. And they start slamming their chest like, yeah, I'm hard. It's like, you ran. It's like, why are you acting like you beat the guy's ass? That's what gets me about these back foot bitches. And hopefully Hitchens doesn't do that, because we know what happened when he fought a past his prime, past his peak, really pretty much almost shot Jose Cepeda. He didn't go for the kill because he was afraid of running into that big left hand, which that's all Cepeda has, really. And it's not really even that big left hand. Shout out to Rapax Drunken Company, by the way, for his contribution to the Super Chat. He says, Oscar De La Hoya fought 5 times in a year, so I see no problem with Madrimov fighting a lot. Well, first of all, shout out to Rapax Drunken Company 10-4. Shout out to you for your contribution. Really appreciate it. I agree with that. What he's saying, hey, De La Hoya fought 5 times, but let's face the facts. It's not like he fought Ike Corte and then Felix Trinidad 2 months. I mean, I'm not saying that was the year that he fought 5 times. What I'm saying is it's a different proposition, because I believe in 1998, that's the year he fought 5 times. I think it was Camacho and Wilfredo Rivera, and I think Chavez, the rematch was, Chavez was an old junior welterweight essentially. So I don't, but I get what Rapax Drunken Company is saying is, hey, maybe we're asking too little now of boxers. It's like, oh my God, he's got 2 months turn. I remember Jimmy said sometimes fighting close. Jimmy said that sometimes fighting close to having a very little time in between fights is actually good. You don't need a month off. You need 2 weeks off, and then you get right back in the saddle. What do you guys think?
Yeah, I mean, that's true. I was thinking about that, though. I mean, boxers back in the days used to fight, like, I don't know how many times a year, but I don't think at the same time, okay, but then somebody was fighting maybe 5 times a year, and maybe his opponent was also fighting 5 times a year, so he kind of like balanced itself out. When it comes to Ortiz, when was the last time he fought again?
It was in the summer, right, when he fought Bohachuk?
I mean, this is going to be coming in fresher.
That's what I'm saying. I think Ortiz, and that's the other thing. The last time,
Madrimov might be yes.
Because
Yeah.
when Ortiz fought, he fought. Look, he's had 3 fights this year. Okay, he had 3 fights this year. He's not gonna fight anymore. So he fought Frederick Lawson in January. He ended that in the first couple of seconds. And then he fights Thomas Delorme again. Doesn't get past a second, and that was 3 months later. Then he fights about 3 months later again in August. That was when he fought Bohajak. So he's got plenty of time until February. I think he should be the one to stay more active. But again, if they put him in there against a stiff as a tune-up, you know he's just going to take him out in a round. So what's the point, too, right?
Yep.
Yes, what I'm saying is,
It
what's the
doesn't
point?
look good, in my opinion. No, it's.
And by the way,
Well, it
that's
is
the
what
thing.
it is. That's what the blame the Turkey if you don't like that.
Yeah, let's blame Turkey, man.
What's happening with Madrimov?
I want to tell people to please hit the like. It really helps us out. Phone lines are down. That's why we've got the StreamYard link, so you can call in via StreamYard. I wanted to say something about that too. I think it was Steve Kim recently retweeted something about Emmanuel Stewart. I think he said that Emmanuel Stewart didn't like his guys having training camps that exceeded 6 weeks, because he said anything more than that, they start getting bored. And I go, you know what? That's a good point. I don't know how these guys. I think Juan Manuel Marquez used to have these long ass training camps, like 2 months and a half or 3 months. And I'm thinking, well, he could probably get away with that because he was so disciplined. But other guys, yeah, man, just as long as you stay in shape, and then you just amp it up for about a month and a half, I think that's good enough, right? Or I don't know what you guys think, Gonzalo, Bucho. What do you guys think?
As far as long training camps?
Yeah.
6 weeks to 8 weeks. It's all situational. I mean, depends on the fighter, how young he is, and stuff like that. 6 weeks is
Yeah, remember.
long enough.
Yeah, I mean, it depends. The age factor plays into it though, because remember Bernard Hopkins, how he said that somebody asked him, "Well, how are you able to still box in your 40s?" And he's like, "Well, you need to switch your training." So I guess the intensity of the training, maybe more rest. So yeah, it depends on the age as well.
Yeah,
I don't know.
I think Manny Pacquiao said the same thing too.
Well, here's the
You
other
just gotta
thing.
take more.
Go ahead, Gonzalo. Go ahead. Sorry.
You just gotta have more rest, and when you do train harder, but then take some rest as well.
Yeah, I was gonna say about that. The rest is very important, and here's the dirty little secret. You got to keep in mind a lot of these dudes are on something, and whether they're on EPO or any other type of PD, these dudes, who are already in great shape, now they feel like Superman. Some of them feel euphoric when they take this stuff. So now that's the problem with the trainer. Now his job is to reel his guy in so that he doesn't overtrain. Because a lot of these guys feel like, hey man, I can, they train in the morning and then they go like, I can get another workout. And then they train a second time. Like, no, let me get a 3 a days. They call them 3 workouts a day. I'm thinking, come on, your muscles might be recovering, but you're redlining your body, and the PEDs are not going to help your tendons or your joints. And that's when you start getting a lot of these guys getting injured because they feel like Superman and they go, yeah, let me do this 3 a days. And then they injure themselves. So that's when I was listening to Jorge Masvidal, the MMA guy. He was saying that like sometimes he'll finish a training session and he'll go, I feel like I need to do more. And his trainer's like, nah, believe me, you did plenty today. Let's go home. And I think that's what a trainer should do. Is like, and that's the other thing, not these long ass 3 hour. Because I know one of the things that takes a lot of time for these fighters is the stretching. They really take a long time to warm up properly so that they don't get injured. So they could spend a good 45 minutes just stretching and shadow boxing and warming up. Then the real workout starts. But then once the real workout starts, it could just be an hour and a half. It doesn't have to be these long ass 3 hour sessions where they're doing drills. Essentially traveling across the whole gym, hitting the wall and then, getting into the air ducts and then going to the bathroom. No, man, you just an hour and a half, keep it intense, high intensity, but then, and then the next day you take it easy and, you know what I mean? So, yeah, man, but some of these dudes, I think they're on too much gear. They think they're invincible and that's how they end up injuring themselves.
Agreed. Hey, can I just, yeah.
Well, I was going to go to the latrine now that I got people here. Let me go to the latrine and then we'll continue on the rest of the subjects.
All right. Go to the latrine.
I'll be
I'll
right
read
back.
some messages in the chat. Let's see what we got here. What we're saying. Yeah. The Hall of Fame, they're inducting Vinny Paz. That's what I was reading on Twitter. Some people are saying that Vinny Paz shouldn't be there. It's turning into a popularity contest because, I mean, Vinny Paz, what did he really achieve? Let's see. He beat, what are his biggest wins? Hagen, Duran. How old was Duran when he fought? Like 40 something. Who else did he beat? Guys, please remind me who Vinny Pacienza beat. I believe he's a 2 division champion. Yeah. Okay. So Rich Porco in the chat says Paz was the second fighter in boxing history to win both the lightweight and junior middleweight world championships. Yes, that I know. Rich Porco says, who did Gatti beat? Well, again, that's another one that I don't think should have been there, to be honest. I'm a Gatti fan, obviously. Like, I think most of us are. But I think they inducted Gatti because, you know, the wars he had, because he was an exciting boxer, and his story, you know, the fact that he passed away young. But should he really be in there, Arturo Gatti? I don't think so. Should Vinny Pacienza be there? I don't think so. Parker Moses says Vinny got smashed by Evander Holyfield. No, that's not. I think you're confusing Vinny Pacienza with.
He's talking about Vinny Madelon, I think.
Okay.
Italian journeyman.
I was talking about the other Italian heavyweight. Remember?
Vinny Pacienza. Yeah. Now I'm starting to confuse Vinny Paz. Vinny Paz is a rapper, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. And Pacienza is the Red Devil or whatever his nickname was.
What do you think about that video?
What do you think? Sorry.
Didn't they make a movie about car wreck and he had like
yes,
like
I saw it.
His head, you know, one of those things where you broke your neck and they put this contraption on your head.
Right. Okay, yeah, true. He had a car crash. I mean, that is something that it's memorable.
He was training with Kevin Rooney.
Yeah.
He did a comeback.
So I think Gonzalo, you're cutting off, I think. Or is it me?
No, he was cutting off.
No, I was saying he was Kevin Rooney. He was training with Kevin Rooney and he made a comeback and stuff, and they made a movie about him. He became champion again with the.
So for those who don't know, Vipas got into a car crash, serious fucking car crash. I think they told him he would never box again, but he started training again, and then he continued his boxing career. So
just goes to show you these doctors, they don't know shit. I remember when I came back from NAM.
They don't know shit.
I remember when I came back from NAM. You know, they're telling you, like, I get these headaches, right? And they go like, oh, well, we don't know what it is. You know what it is. Come on. Don't bullshit me. Don't bullshit a bullshitter. By the way, what were you saying before about, before I got here? Because I didn't hear your questions.
What?
What were you talking about before I got, when I went to the latrine?
I was about the Hall of Fame, the fact that they're inducting Vinny Pacienza. Some people are complaining that he shouldn't be there.
They're really inducting him into the. See,
yes,
I've talked about it before. Jimmy and Chief and I have commented on that. This International Boxing Hall of Fame. Here's the thing: it used to be you had to wait 5 years after post-retirement to be considered to be a candidate for the hall. But the Hall of Fame used to be for Hall of Famers, people who exceeded expectations, people who went above and beyond what normal boxers do, the elite. Now it's. Well, you know, they over there in Canastota, they need to get. It's become an event for years now, for decades. It's an event. They have the parade and have the dinner, and people go. So they need to attract name boxers. They need to have attractions in there so that people will actually pay and go. So that's why now they've cut it. They cut it to 3 years post-retirement, and they're letting anybody in. I mean, I remember, but this started way back, man, when they had Ingmar Johansson. Because all he did was he beat Floyd Patterson, and then he got his ass beat in the rematch. They had Barry McGuigan in there. That was in 2004, I think, when they let McGuigan in, and that's when people said, "All right, what's going on now? Is it really the Hall of Fame now, or is the Hall of close to Hall of Fame, close to fame?" Doesn't make sense, man. Vinny
Doesn't make
Pacienza
sense.
in
Now, but Pacquiao's there, but this it's not clear, right? So Pacquiao's gonna be there.
there?
So just by having Pacquiao, you don't need anybody. You don't need to have Vinny Pacienza to attract people.
That's what I don't get, man.
Pacquiao will attract anybody. So I think it's unfair for many other boxers. I think Fernando Vargas has achieved more than Vinny Pacienza.
I think so. I mean, Paciencia won 2 titles, right? If I remember correctly, he won a lightweight
Yes.
belt and then won a 168, I think.
No, one for 54.
Are you sure? Yeah, okay, I think you're right. I
Yes,
think you're
yes,
right.
yes. No, he never
Yeah.
won. He tried to. He remember he fought Eric Lucas for the
Yeah.
WBC super middleweight, and he failed. So
Hey, Double L makes a good point. He says,
Yeah.
listen to me.
Looking
They
at
make- Go ahead, Gonzalo, go ahead.
yeah. Oh no, I can wait.
Well, just real quick, Double L make a good point. He says, listen to me. They make anybody and everybody over there. And the way they do it, it's all fucked up. No sword or gun on the table. Yeah, no Virgin Mary, no nothing. That's how they do it over there. They get a pygmy thing going on over there at the International Boxing Hall of Fame. There's no scraps in my scrapbook, let me tell you. But go ahead, Gonzalo. What were you going to say?
Looking at Fernando Vargas's box rec yesterday, and I didn't realize he didn't have that many fights. He only had 28 victories, and I think he lost 4. He lost 4, and I was like, okay. I started looking at the names. Who did he beat? I think he lost his last 3 versus Shane Mosley. I didn't realize he lost to Ricardo Mayorga too.
yeah,
So he lost his last 3, and his victories were Ronald Wright, Ike Quartey, because he lost to Oscar De La Hoya one and
Right.
Tito Trinidad. I mean, we're exciting fights, but his biggest victories are Ronald Wright, Ike Quartey,
Campas,
and
Yuri Boy Campas.
Campas.
Those are big wins, man. And Winky Wright, I mean, that was a close fight, but still, I mean, what did Winky Wright do after that? I mean, he continued his career. He fought Jermaine Taylor. He fought Sugar Shane Mosley. He beat Sugar Shane Mosley twice. Oh no, was it twice?
He beat Mosley twice, yeah.
I don't really remember, but so Winky Wright was a very good boxer, and Vargas actually also he was the youngest boxer to ever win a 154 belt, a belt at
Yeah.
154. So
I mean, he
that's
had
something historical, memorable. So what I'm saying is this: if you're gonna put Gatti and Vinny Pacienza there, I think you should put in Fernando Vargas.
Yeah, Tim Austin is a guy you could put in there. Mark Johnson, if he's still not there, could be in there. I mean, there's a
Sure.
bunch of guys.
Yeah.
And there's a bunch of old dudes too from 1930s that I
Oh yeah,
probably
for
haven't
sure.
even heard
I'm
of. But
sure exactly. There's probably guys that are, but I mean, who's gonna show up for somebody that's fucking dead? You know what I mean?
yeah, who's gonna show up for Scrappy Chalkerson from 1925? You're right. Yeah,
Right.
that's what I'm saying. It's become a business now. Before we continue on, man, we got Don Madrasos calling on the stream here. Don Madraso, you there? I don't know if he can hear me. He's muted.
What's going on, you guys?
What's up, man? We're talking about the Hall of Fame. Apparently, they're getting Vinny Pacienza in there. Just real quick before you say what you want to say. Well, what do you think about that?
I think that the Hall of Fame it's just going to turn into I think somebody mentioned something about a business, and I think it's going to be more of a political kind of thing now. I don't really. Okay, you got to think about this era of boxing, and the people that are actually going to make it into the Hall of Fame, and I think this era of boxing is going to really prove to everyone that it's political and it's a popularity contest, because there are real Hall of Famers that should be in there, and we know who they are. Those are guys like Usyk. Those are guys like Inoue, and like Shoo-ins, people like that, right? But then you've got people like, let's say, I heard a really good discussion about Charlo, and since he was undisputed, should he be in the Hall of Fame? And even though he's MIA right now, and he didn't try in the Canelo fight, I think he should still be in there just because he was the first undisputed guy at 150 at 154. So that's marginal. Like, does he really deserve to be in there with his record? I mean, I don't know. He fought for a couple of vacant titles, I think. He beat a couple of guys that had titles. But the biggest one that concerns me, everyone should be concerned with, is if Devin Haney gets in the Hall of Fame. That was the most underwhelming run to undisputed. He only had to fight one guy that's a C-level fighter. that happened to beat a better guy one night by luck, I guess. And he had a Buster Douglas moment. So if people like Devin Haney get in there, I'm going to have a real problem with that. And people below Devin Haney start getting like Tank Davis or people like that, then yeah, we know the writing's on the wall, and we're going to take something that was highly revered into something that's a joke now to accommodate this era of boxing.
Yeah, that's a good point, man. That's what it is. It's a business now, and I mean, come on, this is Pandora's box open now. They let Vinny pass, they let
Exactly.
McGuigan in. Yeah, you know they're gonna let Wilder and Haney and all those dudes.
I think it started with that, man.
You know, what is the point? What is the point of having these institutions if we can't uphold the validity, like their legacy, like the integrity of their legacy. If we can't uphold that integrity, what is the fucking point? You know,
there's no standards.
We those of us that are longtime boxing fans know that the alphabet titles have become a joke over the years, and we've allowed this corruption to happen. Now we're going to allow it to happen. Listen, the pound for pound list is a great example, right? The pound for pound list is so volatile. I talk about it and it's tongue in cheek, but I don't take it seriously because you can't take it seriously. You just can't.
Nor should you.
And now we're gonna have the Hall of Fame. What's next? What's after you guys? What has more integrity than the Hall of Fame?
I mean, you make a good point. You know what? Jimmy made a good point too when he said, look, because some people are bringing that up about Gatti, like, well, he created so many memorable moments. Okay, in that case, create a separate category, because they already have separate categories. They have categories for non-boxers and all that. Create a separate category about, Hall of Fame for impact made by a guy, whether it's because he fought everybody or because he created so many memorable fights. Okay, create it, but don't put him in there as an exceptional fighter that defied the odds and went above and beyond what he was supposed to do. Because Gatti, for as much as people love him, and we all love him as well, all the memories he gave us, he was a contender. He wasn't a pound for pound dude.
He was a C or B level fighter. Exactly. And that's when we should really start having the discussion about the interim belts, or if you're only fighting interim champions, and if you're going to stay in that domain. If you're going to ride your whole career and never take a chance, like who I'm talking about, and become and age into a 30-year-old prospect and expect all the inanities of the people that have surpassed you, even at a younger age, and you're going to expect to be in the Hall of Fame and disrespect the sport by disrespecting people that are more accomplished, then yeah, you should have another category. You should have a completely different category. And I'm not saying Gotti ever did that. He respected the sport. I think he was a showman. He was a true warrior. He just wasn't that good.
That's right.
He doesn't deserve to be in the Hall of Fame for giving us those the trilogy fights. And I'm just. It's kind of painful because you're right. It is opening up the box. So we have no integrity as a sport if we allow people like Devin Haney and Gervonta Davis and Wilder into the Hall of Fame.
You know what? Now that you mention it, now you got me fired up. I'm not going to allow it. I'm just not. Something's going to happen, believe me. But anything else you want to say, Don Madrazos?
No, man, that's it. I think I missed out on all the really good talk about I've been really busy, so I haven't been able to listen to some of the shows and about the Davis retirement. I could not fucking believe the card for Riyadh season for the rematch for the Better Be Van Bivol rematch. That card looks fucking great. If they're gonna only charge you $20 for the pay-per-view, I am fucking all in, dude. That is the most exciting card in a while. And if they keep doing that kind of stuff, you're gonna bring boxing fans back.
Yep.
If they can pull it off. If they can pull off that card. All right, well, listen,
if they can pull it off.
Yeah, that's what. Yeah. Well, listen, Don Madrazos, we got to move on here, but thank you for your call and call back next time.
You guys take it easy.
You too, man. There you go. Don Mardazos, he said he was too busy. Well, he didn't say, but I know he was busy checking out the BDA catalog from the 1970s. It's a good catalog. Let's go to another phone call. Don't forget to hit the like, fellas. Hit the like. Really helps us out. Let's go to another phone call here. Let's
Hit
go
the
to
like.
That's right. Let's go to Southpaw. Southpaw, you're on the air. Can't hear you. You're unmuted, but I can't hear you. Southpaw. Can't.
Okay, how about now?
Yeah, I can hear you now. What's up, man?
Oh, okay. No, sorry, man. I'm in the middle of moving. But no,
Wait,
man,
are you at the movie theater?
No, I was saying I'm
Okay.
middle of moving.
Okay.
No. So, but no, man, I agree with a lot of what Don. How do you say Don Barrasos, whatever.
Maladazos.
Yeah, but I believe I agree with a lot of that, man. And the whole sport is getting watered down. But what's really killing us is the oversaturation of belts and champions. Like the sanctioning bodies have gotten out of hand. The weight classes, there's double the weight classes there used to be when boxing started. And that's what's killing it, man. You got Adrian Broner as a 4-division champion, quote unquote champion. You know, you're getting these guys getting all these Mickey Mouse belts. They're padding their stats so they can make a case to put them in the Hall of Fame. And that's what's gonna happen. That's how they're gonna try to finagle it and get people in. But I don't know, man. Tank Davis, this is crazy, man. I was telling.
Yeah, I think you cut off there, Southpaw. You're cutting off. Did he say he was moving or in the middle of a movie?
Yeah, moving.
Okay. Well, hopefully he didn't fall down the stairs.
Well, I mean, yeah.
Maybe he fell into a couch.
I mean, we got people calling us while they're driving and shit.
Yeah.
Go ahead.
Go ahead.
Yeah, no. Because I was saying, because like he's their last guy, so they're not. He's not gonna fight nobody, y'all. Come on, I mean, he's like a sissy girl that always has to fight with their boyfriends because they want them to make them think they're gonna break up, and that's why he's doing this whole I'm gonna retire because he wants people to like, no, Tank, don't go, Tank, give us more fights, Tank. He wants people to chase him and beg him, and it's just pathetic, man. His did you see his mannerism, the way he was behaving in the press conference? Dude, when Eddie Hearn said he's not really a, like, what do you say? He's not a deep or intelligent guy, pretty much. And then Steven Espinoza goes in, oh, that's racist, and everybody start running with that. Yo, he really isn't that smart. He's not that bright. He's not that bright, man. I mean, we don't even know if he's that good of a fighter because he hasn't fought anybody. And this is going to be the narrative, and I want to call out Chris Algieri and Dan Canobio. They're that fucking idiot, dude. That guy has become the biggest Tank nut hugger in the media. Like I had heard go listen to their podcast for like 10 minutes. You'll know what I'm talking about. Talking about how he had ice cream with them.
Nah. Did he really say that? I can hear Southpaw. I can't hear you, man. Bucho yeah. Southpaw, find a good location because you're cutting off, man. And call back, all right, man. I gotta listen to that though. I gotta listen. All right, Southpaw. I don't know if you can hear me, but I'm gonna leave a comment there in the. Ah, shit! What the fuck? I left the studio. All right, but yeah, he said. Okay, so listen, we talked about that. Jimmy was really telling us about how he's had it too with Canobio, because for those of you that don't know, Canobio is a guy he's got a show with Chris Algieri on YouTube. I think he also works for ProBox. He does some work for ProBox, I think. And he has been like he posted a photograph once. I think it was in the build-up to the Frank Martin fight. He posted a photo of him next to Tank Davis, and he said, "Made a new friend today." I'm thinking, friend, like this is a thing. From what I understand and from what I always knew about journalists is that they have to have a wall between themselves and their subjects. But with boxing, you got people like Ellie Sackback and all those dudes. They call themselves reporters, but they're not really reporters because they're embedded with the fighters. They go to dinner with the fighters. They apparently now they're having milkshakes and pina coladas with these fighters. And okay, now you're his friend. And some of these dudes, I hate to say it, they don't have a backbone. They don't have a journalistic backbone. So what they won't criticize the fighter because they want access to that fighter. Whereas a guy like Steve Kim, he'll say, I mean, he used to be cool with the Lopez's, but then the Lopez's felt like they didn't like his criticism. which was warranted, by the way. They cut him off, and Steve King was like, "Hey, nature of the business, move on." But these other dudes, they can't handle it. So, okay, what do you think? Bucho, Southpaw said that the guy was talking about, Kenobi was talking about having ice cream.
You're right. He's my friend.
This is insane. Again, I have to verify that though. What Southpaw said, that the dude said I had ice cream with Tank Davis. I cannot. I imagine they were drinking a milkshake, one milkshake, two straws, like on the Archie comics. That's what I imagine they were doing, man. I don't know. I mean, what's going on here, man? Having ice cream with Tank Davis, and you're bragging about it on the internet. I don't know. I don't believe that happened. I'm gonna have to fact check that. We're gonna call it Milkshake Gate. We got Sobers jumping in, getting into the Christmas spirit with the Christmas hat on. What's up, Sobers?
What's up, bro? I didn't even know y'all was live.
Yeah, we've been on for a while, man. But I don't know if you heard what I said about. I mean, Southpaw says, and again, I have to verify. Not that I don't trust the guy, but it's just because it seems so outlandish that this journalist trying to be friends with Tank Davis, playing footsie underneath the table as they're interviewing him. What do you think about that?
Have you seen the way he stands? He plays footsie with himself. So it's not out of the realm of reality that someone would see that and just go for it. You know what I mean?
Yeah, no, that's bizarre, man. That's bizarre. I don't know what to say about that.
But I believe it 1,000.
Grim Reaper says going on gelato dates. they're having a nice gelato. Yeah, man. They're having some what do they call it? Eskimos. What do they call those drinks?
I don't know, but you've seen how them do. You've seen how him and Adrian Broner used to be, right? There's a video where they almost kissed, bro. And Davis is like, we're on camera, faggot. You know what I'm saying?
There's one where they're wrestling inside a minivan, and they're both shirtless, and they're wrestling, and
right.
Tank Davis takes his Broner's back, and Broner starts moaning. I mean, I don't know what's going on, man. It's insane. But let's move on from this. This is too weird. I wanted to talk.
Hey, by the way, guys,
that hood love is different.
That hood love. Oh man.
A lot of people are complaining about the Usyk Fury undercard, that it's crap. And aside from the Bogushok Madrimov fight, the rest is just like local British fighters, like domestic level type of fighters. What do you think about that?
It's true. It's not all gravy. Look, it can't all be gravy. Eventually, they got to put. Maybe they ran out of fighters, man. That happens, right? I mean, people only fight twice a year, and maybe they get. I mean, I don't know, but I'd have to really check the list of fighters who could possibly have been on that card, and they didn't. I mean, look, but I'm looking at the undercard right now. Isaac Lowe versus Lee McGregor, Dennis McCann versus Peter McGrail. That's an 8-rounder. Moses Itauma, who's an up and coming heavyweight, taking on Dempsey McKean. And then Johnny Fisher, sounds like a drink. Johnny Fisher versus David Allen. It really is slim pickings after the Bohojog Madrimov one. But hey, like I said, it can all be gravy.
Well, it could be is a good and bad thing, right? It just means everyone's fighting each other, right? The guys are fighting each other. So we're seeing the fights, and you just got to wait for the schedule to clear up so they can make more.
Yeah, hopefully. Hey, but BD, I don't know. I think you want to mention something, but do you want to talk about that picture of Tyson Fury that he just posted? Apparently, he thinks he's in shape. I don't know if he actually looks in shape.
I don't know.
Exactly. So his arms look more muscular though, but the rest looks the same.
Well, he did this in the build up to the first Usyk fight too. Like what he does is he does the Wes Watson thing. He picks an angle, appropriate angle that he's gonna look best in. He pulls his pants or shorts up all the way to his above his belt line or above his navel, so that you don't.
His tits.
Yeah, almost. Yeah, so that you don't see the love handles. Then he gets a 10. He starts flexing, and then all of a sudden now he looks kind of slim, but. He's always going to be a fat guy. He's got tired tits hanging around, voluptuous tits. And so he's always going to be that type of guy. He's never going to be cut. So I don't care how he looks. It's about how he performs. And this is what I wanted to say about that. Frank Warren, recently said something interesting. He said that Usyk took more punishment in their first fight than Fury did, and immediately some people were saying, "No, that's cap." But young people saying that's cap. Fury was way more hurt during their fight, but that's not what Frank Warren is saying. He's saying Usyk took more punishment, which I can believe. Because think about it, Usyk is first of all, he claims that when he went to see Fury backstage, Fury just looked sad or despondent because he thought he'd won the fight, whereas Usyk looked physically battered. That he had a tooth that was actually what did he say, lodged in his jaw or something, or his gum. They thought his jaw might be fractured, blah blah. So, and I can believe that because Usyk apparently said that that the Fury fight was the most difficult fight of his career. Not the Joshua one, not the Brady's fight. He said this one. And I can believe that because people, I think, are underestimating how difficult it is and how much punishment and how taxing on the body it is to fight guys the way Usyk is fighting them. These big dudes, even Chisora, even though he was shorter, outweighed him by 30-something pounds. So, you have to understand, or actually you have to assume that in order to prepare himself mentally, physically, spiritually, to fight these bigger guys, he has to spar bigger guys too. So he's probably thinking
sexual.
No, again, I didn't say that. Come on, man. Mm-hmm. But he has. That makes no sense. But he has to.
No, you're right. I mean, he's a smaller guy. The tempo that he's displaying, cardio. He's at a complete disadvantage when he's fighting these big guys. It's physically speaking. Well, so yeah.
I was gonna say, I think I brought this up before. But that's why I would give Fury a much better chance in the rematch. Give me a second.
I think it's going to be closer than the first fight.
So I was trying to say, I give Fury a much better chance in the rematch because of the fact that even though Usyk almost knocked him out, like Video said, this is a smaller dude. Him taking punishment from a man that much bigger than him is going to be hard for him to recover from, and he's older. Even though he almost knocked the guy out, him on a smaller frame is more damage to his body over time. Fury's a big ogre. He was taking punches from wilder, bigger men. Usyk was whooping his ass, but his body can take more punishment. Pound for pound, basically. That's how I see it. Because he's just bigger, heavier, more mass. Smaller man hitting you, these bigger men hitting you. Is killing him.
I agree, but think about. What do you think about this idea of Fury coming in above 270? What would be the game plan? I mean, I guess
he's gonna try to run him over and try to knock him out.
Yeah.
So it's gonna be a car crash. It's either gonna go really well or really bad, really fast. Really, really.
Yeah. Yeah.
Official Scorecard Boxing, in the chat says, Official Scorecard Boxing, he says, first-hand info, Usyk's camp sparring, 4 to 5 sparring partners, 15 4-minute rounds, 30-second rest. That is insane. I mean, I know most of these dudes, that's what they do. They do the 30-second rest, but 15 rounds of those motherfuckers against these giants. Wowee. That is insane. But here's something else I want to talk about. Now Usyk, I think, and look, no channel has been higher on Usyk than we have. I think he's slightly being overrated. Slightly. Again, there's degrees to which a fighter can be overrated. And I think Usyk now, a lot of people are overrating him, and I'm going to get to why, but we got Southpaw calling back. Let's see if we can hear him now. Southpaw, are you there? I can hear him. All right, listen, Southpaw, man. Find a place where you can get good reception or something, because I can't hear you, man. And we're still going to be here for at least half an hour. So anyway, call back next time, Southpaw. Call back, man. Because I want to hear this whole thing about the fucking ice cream gate. But okay, let me just say this.
Guys, hit the like. Don't forget to hit the like button if you're enjoying the show.
Yes, please hit the like. Really appreciate it, fellas. And subscribe if you haven't subscribed already. Usyk, I think now is being slightly overrated. And I'll tell you why. Because now I hear a lot of people saying, and he was being overrated a little bit coming to the Fury fight. We talked about that, how people were saying, well, all Usyk needs to do is show up and he wins. He had to go to hell in the first the first 7 rounds. He had to go to hell And it's only because of his conditioning, his mindset that he was able to go through that. But what if his body can no longer do that? Again, think about it. The guy's nearing 40. That's number one. Number two, I'm hearing now people saying Usyk's going to improve in the rematch. He's going to stop Fury this time. And I'm thinking, well, wait a minute. Look, I learned about this in the build-up to the Joshua rematch. Because I thought that too. I thought that Usyk was going to stop Joshua. I said, okay, he's going to be more aggressive this time because he knows what he's dealing with. And Joshua's kind of fragile. Well, turns out Joshua's not that fragile, and it turns out Usyk is a very good fighter, but he's not that big a puncher, even though he's a decent-sized heavyweight. And it's the same thing now with Fury. People are making it out to be like he just has to show up and everything's going to be hunky dory. Fury can make adjustments too. I'm not saying that those adjustments are going to be effective, but he's going to try to throw Usyk a different look. And the fact that he's talking about coming in heavier this time indicates that he's probably going to fight with a guard up and just try to walk and maul Usyk down the way he tried to do with Wilder. Again, I don't know if it's going to work, but the point is he's going to try something new. And it might not work out. Maybe Usyk wins, but maybe it's more difficult for him again this time. I don't understand why people are automatically assuming that Usyk is going to go in there and he's the one that's going to improve and he's going to knock Fury out. What do you guys think?
Fury has shown that he can completely change his style, look his approach to a fight. Obviously, we see this against Wilder, and obviously Wilder is not that great skilled boxer. But still, Fury managed to show us that he can actually improve. And I think he can do it against Usyk. And I believe that Sugar Hill is a very smart man, and he's gonna give proper advice to Tyson Fury. Whether he wins or not, it's a different story. We will see a different Fury. That's for sure. That's for sure.
I mean, again, he had success in the first fight, and even after he lost that momentum, especially after he got hurt, it's not like Usyk was beating him up. Fury did well for himself in those rounds. I mean, think about the fact he looked like he was out. He recovered. Now, of course, he's got a size advantage, so that played to his advantage or to his favor. But it's still, I mean, it's people making out to be like this. Usyk is just gonna have his way with him. Again, that's what people thought the first fight, and it was a war.
Yeah.
Official scorecard says, BDA, I think Usyk was overtrained for the first fight. He looked flat. Fury offset him with the injury, made him have 2 or 3 training caps back to back. Maybe, but I mean, shouldn't that apply to Fury as well? I mean, the delays affected him as well. So I don't know, man. I don't know. It's Bucho. Do you think Usyk is slightly being overrated now?
I mean, because I still don't understand. Some people saw that first fight as a very easy fight for Alexander Usyk, which I disagree. I think it was a close fight at the beginning, and then I believe it's the second part of the fight. After also when the Fury got hurt, and everything changed, and Usyk went on cruise control. But it wasn't an easy fight, or am I wrong, BDA? That's why I wanna do a watch along on Discord with some, you guys, so we can rewatch this fight. And maybe I'll see it differently, but that's the way I still see it. Though I see Fury actually winning the first 5 rounds. 4-1. I had it. Got me crazy. I had like 4 going into the 6. It was 4-1 for Fury. Man.
Whoa. Well, I mean, yeah. I mean, I think the first round Usyk won it, if I remember correctly. And then afterwards, maybe you could still find 1 round. But yeah, but when after 5, 6, 7, it was looking bad for Usyk. But this dude, that's the other thing, though. It's
Fury.
What?
You said looking bad for Usyk.
Yeah, round 5, 6, and 7 was looking bad.
I thought you said after. Okay, yeah.
No. But the point is, I mean, the problem with if you're gonna fight Usyk is this dude will not give up. The only way you're gonna really slow him down is you gotta break the body, because this dude has shown that he will not give up. He will not surrender. As long as he can move, he will keep moving and wait for that second wind of his. But what if the body can no longer operate? That's where Fury has to work that body. He just has to wail at the body and hit the arms, everything, man. He was having success in the first fight. Fury's not a power puncher. And Usyk said that he almost got dropped with those uppercuts. He felt them. He felt the body shots too. So But then, of course, Usyk kept plugging along away, and Fury slowed Fury down. So I don't know, but that's the other thing though. If Fury decides to fight like Chisora, we saw in that Chisora fight that Usyk can move for all 12 rounds. Now, then again, that was 4 years ago or 3 years ago. That was a younger Usyk. Does he have the legs to fight that way again? Again, there's a lot of questions coming into this fight. A lot of questions.
Right. They say fighters can age overnight, right?
Well, I mean, Usyk, even people remember that when Fury was having his way with him in rounds 5, 6, and 7. People in the Discord were like, fuck Fury. He waited for Usyk to get old or whatever. I'm thinking,
I'm telling you, I saw it, and then people deny it. I was chatting with people on Discord during the fight, in between rounds, and during the first 4 rounds, I saw people saying this. Oh, Usyk's looking old, blah blah blah, blah. And all of a sudden, I told you. But people were panicking on Discord. Some people were panicking. I don't remember the names. I don't remember who it was. But it was happening.
Hey, name the names, Bucho.
Yeah, we need to round them up.
We can go back and check. We can actually.
Olaf was one of them, right?
We need to round them up and send them to a BDA re-education camp. No.
Yeah, but everybody denied it. Everybody denied it after that, man. Come on.
Yeah, no, Sobers, what Butch was saying is in the first couple of rounds, people were making excuses for Usyk when it looked like he was about to lose.
Yeah, and then some people just straight disappeared after the 9th round.
Well, yeah, now you're talking about the opposite. You're talking about Olaf there, which, by the way, Olaf, is he crazy or is he trolling? Because now he's saying
he's back. He's back.
A little bit of both.
A little bit of Article A, a little bit of Article B. I don't know, man. I don't know. It's
yeah. He said that right? he was saying in the Discord that he developed a drinking problem after the loss. And his girlfriend had to come to get it together.
I mean, it sounds like he had one before that. I mean, if he didn't have a drinking problem before that, what was his excuse then?
He got really bad after that.
Well, yeah, I'd like to ask him. But Sobers, what do you think? Rematch? You think Usyk just has to show up and he wins, or?
I think this rematch is going to be closer than the first fight, but right now, I'm edging Usyk.
Whoa, what?
Well, that sounded wrong. Wrong. Hold on. I'm giving the edge to Usyk in
The fuck?
Yeah, I don't know. Maybe I'll change.
What the fuck, man?
But I don't know, bro. Because I was saying earlier, dude. I think Usyk took more damage in the first fight than Fury did, even though he almost knocked him out. He basically did knock him out, and he's the older guy. And you can't be perfect forever. He's already undefeated. You're gonna slip eventually. Dude. You know what I'm saying? It's hard for me to stay confident in him, but I mean, Usyk always shows up. He always shows up, and right now I'm leaning for him to show up again and beat Fury. I don't know about a knockout though. Well, actually, I think it's going to end in a knockout because if Fury's being honest, and he usually is about his game plan, he's going to try to run him over like a truck, like he did in that Wilder rematch. And it's either going to go well, or it's going to go bad.
Yeah,
I think
what?
It's going to go better for Usyk.
Yeah, I'm picking Usyk again. Don't get me wrong, and I'm still rooting for him slightly here. As I almost always do. Although in the last fight, I was kind of up. I was like, leave it up. I was leaving it up to the Lord's hand and made the best man win because it got to that point where they're both the best. Let's just see what happens. This time I'm rooting for Usyk a little bit more because Fury's kind of all the shenanigans that he's been up to in the last 2 years. But I'm not confident in an Usyk win, just like I wasn't the last time.
You're not confident on an Usyk win?
No, absolutely not. Yeah.
Should I place a bet on this for this fight?
Wouldn't be the worst idea in the world.
All right. I'm going to look into this. This weird feeling that it's going to be crazy. Something crazy is going to happen.
Well, listen, hey, yo. We gotta keep in mind here. This fight is close. It's not this weekend. Obviously, not this Saturday. It's 2 Saturdays from now already.
Yeah.
Shit, that's close, man. That is cutting it close now.
Shit.
I can triple your investment in under 2 weeks. Trust me, bro. But that's what we were talking about that yesterday on the Second Renaissance. But Gonzalo, did you? What do you think? Is Usyk being slightly overrated coming into the Fury rematch? That all he has to do is show up and he wins?
Yeah. because the Deontay Wilder fights were overrated. It made him seem invincible. We know that Deontay Wilder's been losing, and for many years, many people have been speaking about his limitations. But just because Tyson Fury knocked out Deontay Wilder doesn't make him as great as he seems to be. And don't get me wrong, he's a good fighter. Bob Arum says that he would have beat a lot of the guys from the 80s. Who knows? But
so
it's a competitive fight. And
you're saying Fury's overrated?
No, slightly. I mean, not overrated to the sense that he doesn't deserve what he's accomplished. I'm just saying in regards to like an all-time great.
Yeah, well, I was asking. My question was. My question was: is Usyk being slightly overrated? Because the way most people are making it out to be is that all he has to do is show up for the rematch and he wins again.
Yeah, same thing too with Usyk. He's slightly overrated as well.
Well, there you go.
Ooh.
Yeah, because again, let me reiterate. It's because people are making it out to be as if all he has to do is show up and it's going to be an easy fight. Oh, again, that's what some people are saying. Some people are saying it's going to be easier for Usyk, which, look, it might be, but the confidence with which some people are talking about, all he has to do is show up and he's going to improve. Like, he didn't improve in the Joshua rematch. In fact, it was Joshua who improved. So isn't it possible?
That's a good point.
Yeah, those fights with Joshua were good wins for Usyk. But let's not make out. I know stylistically, triangle theory, all that shit goes out the window. But those two fights that Joshua had with Usyk were close as well. And we know that Joshua isn't a great heavyweight. He can be beat.
Exactly. I mean, he's got that going against him. Usyk does is the size. I mean, let's face the facts. Yeah, Fury has the size advantage. He can use it to improve his chances here. He can take more shots from Usyk, especially to the body. But it's a difficult proposition for both guys. So I don't know. It's 2 weeks from now. I'm definitely gonna have because I for some reason I still thought the fight was 3 weeks away or something in my mind. But now it's not this weekend, not the next. So I'm gonna have to start making content for that one right away. Anything else we got here, Bucho? Anything else on the docket?
The Revengeance tomorrow. Valdez versus Navarrete.
Yeah, what about that, Sobers? You keep saying Valdez. You picked Valdez in the first one. Now you're still sticking with Valdez. And Valdez coming into the fight, he keeps talking about adjustments. I know which adjustments to make. I figured them out. What do you think about that?
I think Navarrete is a fat paisa who doesn't give a fuck about making weight. So him going up and then coming back down is going to be extremely detrimental to him. Did you see him at the weigh-in?
Yeah.
He was looking gaunt, looking like he was ready to be sacrificed, ready to have his heart cut out for the good of the community. And that's what's going to happen, bro.
Sacrifice.
Yep.
Who's going to be Sober's going to be the priest.
Hey, did Valdez even hurt Navarrete in the first fight? No, huh?
No.
Yeah, bro. It's a whole different situation. They're two different fighters. Bucho.
Yeah, no, I got Navarrete, man.
How dare you?
No, seriously, I think everybody does.
Not Sobers.
I know everybody does, yeah.
Sobers is going with Valdez, man.
Yeah, you're right.
Hey,
I forgot about that.
I'm looking at the weigh-in because I saw the weigh-in, but I wasn't paying too much attention. But I'm looking at the photo here. Navarrete doesn't look that gaunt.
Look at those dark butthole eyes, BDA.
I don't know.
Well, if he comes in healthy, he wins the fight. I think that's a consensus.
I mean, there's always a chance that Valdez catches him with something. I mean, he does have that good left hook. But I think if Navarrete fights like an idiot the way he was fighting against that Australian dude, then yeah, he could get caught. But in the first fight he fought, I mean, he was on point. He kept that right hand up, says your left hook ain't going to do shit. And he spanked Valdez around for 12 rounds. This time, I do think Navarrete has something to prove. He's coming in here with something. He said it himself, and he has to prove something. I mean, think about it. The last 12 months, he's gone 0-1-1. Come on. But I just gotta say too.
No, bro, he's falling off. I don't think he's dedicated. He doesn't invest in his strength conditioning coach. He probably has his fucking his cuñado is the one training him and watching his diet. You know what I'm saying? Or his brother, his wife is the one making his fucking meals.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, he's probably eating.
Yeah, they're not. He's not spending on. He's probably not spending money on his camp, right? Like, obviously.
That's what I'm saying. Yeah. He's working out in the fucking living room like fucking Cesar Chavez Jr.
I was gonna say that. I was gonna mention like he's fucking hitting the mitts in the living room. Yeah, he's cutting costs. Yeah, so that's not good.
He's the type of Mexicans that keep their money in a brown paper bag inside of his shoe.
Yeah, exactly.
Under the mattress. Yeah, man.
He might be coming confident though, right, into this fight because it was a clear win for him in the first time around against Valdez. So maybe if he's not even taking his camp seriously, he might not this fight. He might not be taking it serious. So.
Never Sobers didn't have the fight. Never Sobers had the fight a little closer, by the way. I think he had like 115, 114 or something. Okay, now come on. Oh man, but
I wasn't scoring it, but it was a clear. Yeah.
Well, what else we got before we go, man? We're almost at the end of the second hour here.
Hitchens, did y'all talk about that?
Yeah, we talked about.
There's a video of Hitchens where they're calling. He's saying, "You better not run. You better not run." To Paro, and Paro's trainer goes, "You're a runner. What are you talking about?" And then Hitchens looks at him and he goes, "When did I run? When do I run? When? What fight?" It's like, what the fuck? This dude has a real severe lack of self-awareness and shit.
Maybe it's the CTE.
He knows, man. They know.
Early dementia or something. CTE already starting to kick in for a guy who backfoot bitches. I mean, listen, he could. I mean, he could still beat what's his name, Valdez. Excuse me, Valdez. I'm still talking about that. Paro. But yeah, that whole thing. So we were talking about that is how come these dudes with the ass style who can't crack an egg are the most vociferous or vocal in the build to a fight. I'm gonna fuck you up. And then they don't fuck anybody up. They run around the ring for 12 rounds. Well, what's up with that?
Give me a second.
I'll give you 2 seconds, and then that's it.
I'm gonna fuck you up with my 7 knockouts.
Yeah. That's the thing. And I think it was. I once asked Rare Breed that because he's like a millennial. No, not millennial. What's a Zoomer, right? I think he's a Zoomer after Anglo. So I asked him for the inside scoop on the culture and why are they so talkative? And he said because he said it too one day. He said, "Oh, Shakur's gonna." What did he say? Shakur's gonna school or beat up something like that, like Navarrete or something. I said, "What do you mean school? When's the last time he beat somebody up?" He said, "Well, no. When they say, apparently he says that when they say that they're talking about just dominating. You know what I mean? For like a decision.
Boxing, yeah.
Right.
Like,
so
he's gonna whoop him. He's gonna whoop his ass.
Like a 10-2 where there's no knockdowns. I whooped your ass. Like, no, that's not how it goes. It's a fight.
Yeah, but apparently that's what. I understand what they mean by the way. I understand what he meant by that when he says, well, he whooped him, meaning on the scorecards he whooped him, right? But I was thinking, I always had it in my mind, like if you whoop somebody, that's like a Bernard Hopkins, Felix Tito Trinidad. That's a whooping. That's a beat him up for all 12 rounds and stuff.
But can I just say for the 50th time that I want Paro to win for the sake of boxing? Because we don't need more of these Hitchens type of fighters.
But hold on,
we really don't. Yes.
Sorry to interrupt.
What do you mean, guy that calls himself Africa?
No, we don't need these guys that are stinking up the joint.
But to be fair here, Paro got a lot of away. That's why I was, because the first time I saw the fight, I was more aghast by the referee who kept getting into Paro's face. I never got beyond that. But then when I rewatched the fight, Paro was hitting him behind the head. He was. And he was clinching a lot too. I can't condone that either from that dude. Maybe he wasn't running in that fight, but he was doing a lot of ass-style type tactics too. The clinching, hitting behind the head.
He's not the greatest of boxers. He's not the most entertaining boxer out there. I think Matias also fought the scene. They both fought type of the same manner, right? And it was kind of a phone booth type of fight. And I'm not saying Power is going to be this great boxer, exciting boxer, but he's better than Hitchens. Then if Hitchens wins this fight, they're going to start treating him like some royalty. Oh, African-American boxer, undefeated. Let's put him on a main event. Like, again, it's like, no, we don't. Why would you want to see this guy in a main event? I'm sorry. He's not exciting. Hey, maybe tomorrow he knocks out Paro, then I'll change my mind. But
yeah, he has to prove it to you.
He's not good for boxing.
Like Keyshawn Davis. Like Keyshawn Davis. Look at how much hype he got when he beat the common opponent between him and Hitchens. What was his name? Lemos. He knocked that dude out. Now everyone was talking about how he's got a chance to be the best lightweight in the world.
And that's great. That's why I like that. And I remember on Discord I was saying, I hope he knocks him out. And some people were saying, oh no, he's much bigger, blah, blah, blah. Nobody has ever stopped him or something like that. I don't know. He ended up stopping him. Everybody in the chat going crazy. Everybody's talking about it. Because that's what you need. You need a knockout. You need a highlight reel. Keyshawn Davis got that. Look what his career is at, man. Where it's going. I mean, people are talking about this guy.
Well, to answer your question from before BDA, why they run their mouth, they try to get loud. He's trying to get Liam Paro out of character so he can make him fight his fight. You know what I mean? It's like peacocking. You know, you're like trying to get in your opponent's head. You're trying to psych him out before they even get in the ring. You know what I mean? Because when you look at it, you know, he's talking about whooping ass and he's telling him, Paro, not to run around. Bro, that's how you fight. We know how you fight. So it's just a bluff. It's called the boo game on the street.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah, there's no way he can believe that Paro is a guy that's a runner and all that. He can't be that deluded. Can't be that delusional. But what was gonna say? We'll see what happens tomorrow, man. I'm looking forward to these fights. And the other thing is Eddie Hearn promotes both guys, both Paro and Hitchens. So it's a win-win for him. And I still think Eddie Hearn still has it in his mind that, oh man, I think I'd rather Hitchens wins because he's an American, undefeated, and that's what's gonna really give us, you know. So I think that's what he's probably thinking. But we'll see. We'll see. Maybe Paro knocks his ass out and it doesn't go to the judges. That being said, we gotta go. That's it for this show. I thought it was a good show. Covered a lot of things, and we'll be back. What is it on Sunday? Post-fight show after to cover all the festivities that take place on a Saturday, and then we're 2 weeks away from the Usyk Fury card, and then of course we got a couple of other fights too before the end of December. So that should be fantastic. Shout out to everybody who donated with the what's it called? Buy Me a Coffee or whatever.
Buy Me a Coffee. Yeah, go check it out. Buy Me a Coffee and Patreon.
All
links in the description. We'll be posting more content on Patreon, by the way, guys.
Buy me a joint.
Well, that's what I was saying, because we should change it to buy me a beer or something. And I said, why don't you make it buy me a crack pipe or something while we're at it? But no, listen. Doesn't matter what the name is. It's about you guys. Hopefully you enjoy the content we create. And we'll try to come back with another show, like I said, Sunday. Check out the Patreon. We're going to be posting free content on there as well. You don't necessarily have to donate. The links are in the description. Don't forget to hit like, subscribe. Check us out on Spotify, iTunes, Spreaker at your leisure. Shout out to everybody in the chat. Like I said, everyone who called in as well. Shout out to Protectorate General, Marcy D, Steph K, aka Official Scorecard Boxing, Team Batman Boxing, Super Sardonic, Phil Miles, Quentin Lassiter. Who else? Don Chile, Jane Ryu, 33, Regiment Thomas. And if I forgot anybody, fellas, Mihara, Quickslot. If I forgot anybody, it's because we got to go. Shout out to you, fellas. Thank you for joining us. Catch you on the next one. Sergeant in there as well. Shout out to Sergeant, Handsome Mechanic, Real Talk Boxing. See you in the next one, fellas. Take it easy. Thanks for watching. Woohoo!